Good morning, everyone. I'll be on camera here in a moment. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I just realized I have my questions up, but don't have my charts up yet. So we're going to go ahead and get set up this morning. How are we doing? How are we doing this beautiful Wednesday? I know I'm feeling pretty good. I slept pretty good last night. Still went to sleep late as blink. This is slower than Christmas. There we go. Okay, what is going on with the market this morning? Ooh, there was a big sell-off yesterday. When we never made that other high, did we? Alright, we're going to start with the daily. That's what told me that. But I see these relative equal highs. We closed pretty high above. That was busy. You know what I haven't looked at? A monthly. Okay, good. I know. That did not just jump. Okay. Getting to set up my monthly. I think monthly is black because daily is white, and so monthly, I don't use it often. Usually the market's sitting there consolidating and not doing anything like this. So we're going to extend it out. Let's go. How many days are in August? Let's say what does that do? Still didn't do it. I guess it's got to be still didn't do it, but I like how it's covering that up. I'm dark. Hello. Donkey. There we go. Well, I know. By the color. I don't want to label it. I'm going to save this as a template and our monthly. I'm not going to do what I did yesterday morning and take forever. Save. Make sure I did it right this morning. Okay. Thank you, Jesus. And I put it on all charts there. Cool. So that's a big old dumpster fire. That got rented. I want to know this price. I'll just go ahead and drop a horizontal line. I think that's what it's called. I know in my video that I posted, running through how to do your charts and to label and set up templates like this, I mess up a lot. And this is a monthly. Well, this is found from a monthly, but it still translates because this is December. You playing with me? What? December. Okay, I was looking right here, and it looks like this is November, but this is November. Right? Anyway, the other thing that I loved about this year is that we came down to 22's high. There was something about it. Let me look at what it was that, like, made me very happy. I guess this is changing to the low of there. I'm still yawning this morning. I know that much. Cancel, Cody. You have a template saved. Go to your quads, babe. Okay. See, it automatically took that crap away because I asked it to fill it. Okay. So we came down here into the upper quadrant. This high and that upper quadrant of this trading range. Not bad. Who do? So we're looking at a monthly. We found this Cibi from 22. I hit that wrong button. No. Just created this one. Oh, my nose. How we doing this morning? Right in the chat. How we doing? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put a monthly right here. This one's from 22. And that'll kind of help guide us realizing, oh my, that is bullish for this moment, and this what has happened. That's pretty awesome. So this drop was intense. Thanks for the like. Thanks for the follows. I haven't gotten a follow, but I would love to get some followers over here on the YouTube. Yeah, I don't think my audio is playing from my actual desktop, which is frustrating. Because it's like, bruh, now you know. I just realized this is May. There she is. Okay. So that's very dark, but that's okay. I'm not gonna label anything else from the week or the monthly. I'm gonna go to the weekly chart and check him out. There's a lot of shit coming in right here. First thing we don't want to do is overcrowd our charts, right? And that's the hardest thing to avoid. Like, on a daily, weekly basis, that's like, looks busy, but what's this? But once you go down to a lower time frame, it starts to make a little bit more sense, right? So what I'm looking for is, are there new PD arrays presenting themselves within this? Right? I will say from the last contract, there was a liquidity void in this drop, or this after this drop into this lift, but I don't think I see it. Let me see if this will do anything. See that right there? I'm going to do the control click key to zoom in so you can see that area right there. There's a liquidity void. And so for bearish stance, not today, but eventually, the price is gonna go back down and want to reclaim that right there. Now, we're pushing up and up and up. I'm gonna tell you, it's not even the end of the month. This is so ridiculously loud. Probably can't even hear my voice once you right there. Okay, maybe it's better for volume. I don't know. I didn't check. Sorry. Hey, you could let me know if it's too loud. Babe, comment. I'm using my phone so that I can see the comments. My OBS, it's a little. Actually, I guess I could put the dock on here. But anyway, how are we doing this morning? How are you doing, man? Okay, so we're done with the weekly. I just wanted to see the confluences of PD arrays, like right here. It's more tight and condensed on a weekly, so I could reframe this monthly down to a weekly, right? And then I'm gonna remove this box because it's just data in there, and I know it's there. I haven't looked at it for a while, and I say the last contract, is that right? What week is this? The 20th? I really don't know if this was the last contract. It's just, that's what I'm remembering. So, all right, lastly, I'm gonna go to a day and look at this funky hot. Let's go look at that void from here. I should have left it on the chart. Oh, there's multiple. There's multiple. Morning. Oh, that was some not. That's too early. Morning. Alright. So, starting to get a little too cluttered. We have these old highs back here. I think I'm going to take the London high off. What do you think? So remove London high. I don't know yet. We were tiptoeing in it all day yesterday while I was streaming, and I was waiting for it to go pop up to that mean threshold of the 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. trading range, right? We were looking at that yesterday on live, and that red box was the bullish order block, bearish order block that I was looking at. Where are we at? Okay, mean thresh. She put mean thresh. So yeah, you're looking at this. Oh wow, it looks so much prettier when in hindsight 2020, babe. Looks so much prettier. Well, still pretty high resistance, don't get me wrong, but this is in true to form and fashion. What time was this? $11:34. It says 11:35, but those of us that do NinjaTrader, you realize you have to subtract, right? You have to take a minute step back on the NinjaTrader. So, I don't like that I stayed in the market for 4 extra minutes. See, my rules state from 7 to 11:30 a.m. That is my time to shine, right? I want to shine bright like a diamond, and whenever I follow my rules, usually that happens, right? Okay. So, was that from yesterday? And then it did. But it never made a lower low, did it? So if you were holding off for bearishness and wanting to be a participant, and this is how I like to look at markets, right? If I wanted to chase this, oh, I didn't extend that out. Oh, today's going to be an ADHD day. I can already feel it. Good morning, good morning. How are we feeling? I'm waking up this morning. How about you? Let's see. I got it locked, right? Yes. Okay, so we have yesterday's first presented. That was just a fucking banger. Bam. So like I was saying, if you were wanting to chase that momentum in lunch hour, yeah, it did. It paid some bills. Let's check it out. Go to the ruler up here. There's a shortcut for ruler. Who knew? Okay, let's just say we got slippage and then we wanted to get out right there. 55 points that you could have got. No. I mean, it would be somewhat low resistance from the old high, which is PD array, below mean threshold that it proved that it wasn't strong enough to go to, and it had taken out a previous swing high without taking out this one. Bam. I don't know if I would take that trade. Would you? Type in the chat. Would you take that trade right here? Probably super duper zoomed. I need to pull up my camera so I can see, or not my camera, my desktop view. There we go. You can see. Open your eyes. Take out your contacts. Clean them eyes. Zoom in real quick. Double tap. Subscribe. And you'll be fine, I promise. Okay, so yeah, lunch hour number one, not gonna happen, babe. Made a lower low. Maybe starting to see that pickup again. What is it? Change of character. Return down into this cross center balance. Some bullshit right here, and then lower resistance. So whatever. I don't know. That was yesterday. We don't want to look in the past. No more. Let's see, we are working in, what is this? The first presented of the week, y'all. This is Monday's first presented. Alright, what's going to happen? We're going to put in some extension. Not extension. What is this? This is a Fibonacci, Cody. We're going to put a Fibonacci, and we're going to make it all the way to 8. Remember, I just said you want a -1. Well, you do the same thing right here. So wait, it'd be 7, and then 801. No, you put in, I don't remember. You can tell I have been off the charts for a hot second. Well, I say a hot second, for me a hot second. I've been on the charts for a little bit. See, I knew that looked a little funky. It needs to go to this candle, but I'm not going to mess with it. We're going to move on to this 8 a.m.'s range and figure out what she's doing. It is 8 a.m., right? 8:30. Oh, we got a news release. Or 8:30 isn't necessarily always a news release because I don't think it's a news. I don't think there's any fucking news today, right? It's kind of a boring day as far as the news goes. Let's see. I am consuming us in confidence. Yeah, so boring. We got crude oil, nothing new here. That's good. And speaking of, in the comments, if you see this, ask some questions. This is AI generated questions, and not necessarily what I wanted to, do, but I really wanted to be able to give some real life responses to people that want to see and ask questions from, and mostly beginners, or a veteran trader that wants to reflect on some of the experiences of a newbie. I would love to talk to someone that has been doing this for, like Michael, for 30 years and just get into that ear. Because if you got questions for me, babe, I got questions for you. So we're going to come back to this here in a minute. It ain't even, well, it's 7:30 our time. Oh yeah, in East Texas. Okay. Sticking out on the 1 minute? No. We need to zoom it on out. And we need to go to the 15. I don't like to go to the 1 before I go and look at the 15, right? It's part of that consistency. Coming into the charts every day, I had my thoughts of, and I was laying down in my bed. I didn't want to get up and get my coffee yet. I was laying in my bed saying, yeah, today's going to be a great day. I don't care what the market provides. It's a Wednesday, and I haven't taken a trade. Looking at a weekly, it looks bullish, but we have a lot of inefficiencies for below. We had a huge drop in the open yesterday, and then a consolidation with a slow grind up. Not looking pretty. Not looking pretty. So, especially with the deviation from this in Q to ES, not looking pretty. Camera's coming off. Gonna smoke a cigarette. So, hold up. Yeah, I could see why we're wanting to drop right now, I'll tell you that. But looking at the daily, we had a pretty nice recovery from that buy side imbalance, right? Like, that was a pretty recovery. All right. Yes, ma'am. So if anyone has any questions, start getting them ready. There is a Google form. I don't think anybody's give me a moment. I don't think anybody has submitted anything. Babe, we're still new. We're still building. We're growing, guys. And it is what it is. That's what AI is for. People like me that don't have friends and they want to ask some freaking questions and get some help, right? So thank you, Jesus, for allowing AI to answer some questions for me, or ask some questions to me. We gotta love technology nowadays. Yep. I just wanted to see this 8:30 news release type introduce volatility into the market. Yeah. Looking at the 5, I could see that. What's MES doing? Nothing. Oh my god. I mean, literal. Oh, okay. I was about to say. I'm not on. Oh, wait. Anyway, I was about to turn on my cam and realize, no. Don't be doing that. You'll have to edit it out later. So. Oh, we gotta turn that off. I don't want you to see all that. Put it on sim, y'all. We're going on sim if we're gonna take a trade, I think. I don't know. It is Wednesday. Wednesday is, she crazy. Wednesdays are crazy. So I'd love for some people to check out my content that I'm posting and putting out there. Get my name out there. I'm not trying to promote myself as far as paying for advertising to get viewership. No, we're going to do this naturally. We're building a maybe a community of people. Not saying I want to do what is it called? I used to be into it so much whenever I first started trading because I didn't know how to figure it out the fuck on my own. Like a Discord, and there's another computer application. I need to lean back and bring my desk back. I'm gonna refill my coffee. No one's in the chat, so this is the perfect opportunity to get up and go get some coffee. I'm going to double click, go ahead and label this before I get up. It'll just make me feel better, I know that much. Okay. And I don't be labeling the days because I go back and delete whenever it starts getting a little gone. Okay, we're going to move this over, or shrink that window and take a look at everything from a zoomed out perspective. Come back with a fresh eye. Oh. What is this? I guess I put it in here. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. I engage. We're going to go in with 3 contracts. I do believe. We are hanging right at not open. You know, time and price, they be lining up sometimes. And when they do, it's usually a banger. Alright, and then I need to go and label this candle's open, which is the 8:30 open. Just as equally important. I think I did a solid line for this one. Alright, yep. Bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Alright, and then we'll add midnight extension. So behind the lows, all in one candle. We're going to a 1. So much easier to label on a 1 minute. So what I'm doing is looking at the range of midnight, right? Don't want no influence here. Okay, going right here. We're gonna find the low. After this point, we're looking for the low and a high from this point. And so it looks like we just dropped it down. How did I not get you landed right? Bad. Okay. Oop, cancel. Not 10,000. 1,000. I'm gonna go ahead and save that. Gotta get my coffee. 1 second. How we doing this morning? I hope you're feeling good. I know I am. I put in the comments good morning or morning, but you can put in there a question. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to put my first question inside of the chat. Just, what do you want to know Wednesday? I love sharing. I used to be a teacher, full-time trader. I was, believe it or not, a dance teacher. Okay, who knew? Who knew I would be a dance teacher? I love it too. Let me tell you. Got burnt out teaching the little babies, the little ones, the little 3-year-olds. Oh Lord, it was fun though. Walking on the ground like a kitty cat. Yeah, it's not for everyone, but oh my gosh, I can't wait to do it again. I guess I have to explain it. Having a dance studio on my own, right? And teaching the little babies. It was a beautiful, beautiful experience. But I'm gonna tell you what, trading with or moving into trading, I guess, has been a whole game changer for Cody James. Whole game changer. All right, I'm gonna go get some coffee. Give me one moment. Anyone from Texas in the house? I need a Texas person to come chat with me. Lord knows. I ain't got nobody else in Texas. Well, I have one trader friend, of course. I have one trader friend who is from here. Other than that, she keeps to herself here. She keeps to herself. How did I miss this low? My goodness. Or did that just happen or something? No. 50 minutes doesn't just come out of nowhere. So we haven't made a lower low than the 7 a.m. range, but we did make a higher high, and we're chilling in that mean threshold of I missed this high. There's a higher high, babe. What is that? I'm going to just manually type this in. High of 23,264. 23,264. Okay, now she's cooking with gasoline. Okay, so we're chilling still. Oh, no, we're not chilling. We're rejecting from mean threshold of the 7 a.m. range. Made a higher high, fallen short, came back, retested 7 a.m.'s mean threshold, and now going for these lows. I do believe. Yeah, that's what's up. Oh, NinjaTrader, you be playing sometimes, baby. And this cup of coffee is boiling my fucking fingers. Look at this rebalance. Whoa! What is this? The midnight trading range, babe, isn't it? Did I not label that shit? No. What is that? But what is it? When you don't remember what you labeled. Okay. We're in the upper half of yesterday's big old open and drop down. That mean thresh. We're still inside of that. Not really making a move away from it. Haven't hit the 25% of like the upper quadrant, or the second quadrant. Huh. Bouncing from both though. The lower half to the upper half. It's waiting for something. This has been high resistance since literally 10:09 yesterday morning. Okay. Gotta love the market in the summer, y'all. Gotta love summer trading. It's so fun, he says sarcastically. Okay, how long have we been on this screen? 51 minutes. Okay. So that is now I'm remembering. So that's the 130 to 2 high to low. So that one is throwing me off. It looked like a higher high, but it happened before. So you see how, and I love this about the market. let me get a vertical line so I can show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to put this right on the 30 candle, right? Which is right here. So we hit, and remember the trick, right click, bring to the front, bring it to the front. So we go in a direction, right? We have a trend. Very good. I mean, what is that? 50 minutes of offering just buy-side delivery. You don't get a short like this range, which is good, right? But as far as from this lift off, you don't get much of a pullback. You're not shorting that, right? I hope not. And if you do, you're going to learn a lesson from it, hopefully. But not until here, bam, do we see any kind of displacement to the downside. And then it comes back to this position to retest. And then gives you good displacement, right? So that 30 for just about every candle is going to be usually going to be a reversal characteristic, especially at the start of a new session, right? So lunch hour. Man, I have never used more vertical lines than whenever I'm going live. So that's good, keeping me honest. So from these 2 points right here, this is a no-no time. This is my no-no time. Awkward. So, I mean, it has good displacement, but you do not want to participate in that. Okay, so again, the 30. The 30 is a window to reversal characteristics all day long. That's why whenever we were holding here yesterday, watching that mean threshold, we weren't ever granted that opportunity from the change. We weren't really ever granted the opportunity to full target to what we were looking for, mean thresh, until after this line. So it happens. Love how we're sitting here chilling in it. But okay, now that I know what this is, I'm not gonna take it off. Do I have extensions on that? Okay. What has the market done while I've been rambling? Oh, went for those lows. Let me see. Nope. What time is it? We're in a macro, y'all. 8:50 macro. See, this is why you want to label your shit. Oh, mean thresh. Okay. So we're tapping right into that. Who knew? All right. Oh, I gotta adjust this guy. Another thing I was talking about yesterday is constantly updating this, and I will wait until the end. There's still 4 minutes. I'm wondering if that'll pan out. Okay. So those ranges are adding up to be the same. Overlapping, that's we're building into characteristics of what is the word I'm thinking of? Seek and destroy. Already. And there's no news today other than a oil and home release. I'm not feeling good about any kind of trades already. For myself, I'm talking this out for myself. So if you're listening, thinking, oh, what's he working on? Yeah, right now I'm just trying to think of what the market conditions are. I love doing this, right? So, thinking, just processing it through, trying to find logic, right? And just from the past already, it's working extra time. It's kind of a condition that I love to see, not gonna lie, of 7 a.m.'s high rated, 7 a.m.'s low rated by the end of the second hour. And that's literally what you're seeing right there. Not only did 8 a.m. open up and go and immediately make a higher high than 7, it immediately made well, I wouldn't say immediate. It took the rest of that hour to immediately reverse and go down in a high. I was going to say in a high resistance condition. Cool. So it's nearly 9 a.m. 30 minutes until open. We've been live for an hour now. Double tap. Love the screen. And like the stream, please. All right. So some things that I've observed, documented, is what's kind of wanting to pan out right now. So we have a small little baby inefficiency right there. All I'm going to change is the AM to PM so that I get it out. So what I'm seeing is that now that it's 9 a.m., it's going to want to make a lower low. It's going to come down for this 230, 5 points, 5-point banger, man. Get you a 5-point banger. You know that short is most likely going to pan out. However, we do have a potential for Model 22, but I wouldn't be engaging until prior low. 7 a.m.'s low, 8 a.m.'s low, 8 a.m. made a lower low. We back up into midnight open price just now with the flat bottom. Flat bottom girls, you make that thing go down in the ground. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, previous swing high. There was, for a little bit, a phenomenon that I was watching, observing, keeping a lock of. I'm going to move this over here. Oh, no, I'm not. Okay. The first presented fair value cap of every hour. You don't need that. But, she can be a banger, babe. So, like, the first presented for 7 a.m. This big ass Sibby. So, in my mind of minds, I am going to make a new one. And of course, it's not saved. Okay, we're gonna do dark turquoise again, but we're gonna change the outline to desktop. Yeah. Okay, load. Oh, no. Save. We're gonna do this one as out. That could be confusing for some. Okay. So it did not leave these flat. It returned back into this busy. That model 22 could be panning out. So this could be a potential key reversal. But the weakness presented at this mean threshold area, it's got a sustain price or something. Webcam's coming off because I want another cigarette. Where's my shit? Good morning, good morning, good morning. How we feeling? We have been live for 1 hour. We've got the market doing market things. Woo-hoo. Let's go over. Market doing market things. What does that mean, Kay? What does that mean? Well, they say the market is unpredictable. However, don't believe everything you hear. You have to observe it on your own, babe. And today, I am attempting to pocket off of the things that I have observed. If it's something that I see, that I have I guess, noted and see the phenomenon repeating enough, then I'll participate. But that is looking good for that low to be taken. Cool. All right, well, the market does the market things. I believe I am going to start question 1. What do y'all think? Question 1? Anyone? You know it's a slow trading day. You know it's a slow trading day when NinjaTrader has 205 people in their live. That's crazy. Alright, let's run these highs, babe. Retap into the 7 a.m. first percentage. But what I don't like is the overlappingness of 8 a.m. and its first presented. It's right there. So a little trick that I've learned, because I use a lot of these tools to kind of map out what's going on in my brain. And I'm ADHD, man. I'll be cluttering my charts, and so I have to make a conscientious effort to this plan, man. Not have so much on my charts, you know? Okay, so this 8 a.m. immediately gets overlapped, run through, return to retest, and then fall short. Ooh, that'd be a good trade right there. How much did she pay this morning? 25 from that one. 30 points. 30 point banger this morning. I wanted to try something.
Scalping got a whole lot simpler once I stopped overcomplicating it. Turns out one...
Gonna go ahead and follow them on their TikTok and like their stuff so that I get picked up a little bit more. Oh, Apple just paid me 28 cents. That's what's up. Interesting. Okay. Now that right there is interesting to me. Oof. 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 Okay, there you go. Retesting the first presented of 7 a.m. Wanting to work up to mean threshold of that. I want to see some things happen here. If we're going to continue up, I want to see it go to and through that key level, I guess is what I'm going to call it, of 8 a.m. and 7 a.m. They have a thing called mean threshold. That little dot right here and this little dot right here. Ooh, not those. That is some key levels right there. If it proves it can't go up there, what do you think that means? I'm gonna tell you, it's heavy. All right, we're about 50. Okay, we're gonna pull up our first pregunta of the session. Let me pull up my OBS so I can see. So, let me move this guy. We don't need him right now. What exactly am I trading when I trade MNQ? So, to start off, I asked my co-pilot, my bestie for the restie, AI, to generate questions with the mindset of being a new beginner trader, and ask questions that a beginner wants to know and wants to ask that doesn't know exactly how to ask those questions right. So the first one, what exactly am I trading when I trade MNQ? Well, number one, this is a micro contract. Okay, there's just an NQ. That's the big daddy Q. I would say the biggest difference, okay, and or the only difference, is the value with which you receive, I guess, I'm gonna call it commissions. If you put in the time to chart and all of that, you get paid back more on a NQ than you would on an MNQ. Micro NQ is a 2-point value per point, whereas NQ is 20. Okay, so MNQ is 1/10 of what that contract is for NQ. Okay, now the other thing is NASDAQ is what it actually is. Okay, it's the underlying asset. NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange stuff, and it is a combination of stocks that are traded out in the future, and it's used more as a hedge versus the underlying asset, which is somewhat more tangible than what the futures is. Next, is it just numbers or does it represent something real? Yeah, so that's kind of what I was talking about just there. Yeah, no, it is just numbers, right? If you want to look at it like that. And not just numbers, it is price. So it's not just a number. It's the value with which is being represented for that time, for that asset. Does it represent something real? Like I said, it is a hedge for the actual stock, the combination of stocks in the NASDAQ. And so that's where it gets a little bit more volatile, right? That's why this is so much more volatile. And the other thing is, let me see, what's the difference between stocks and futures? Yeah, I'd say that what I'm about to say is going to be in that question. So, does it represent something real? Yes, but more so looked at as a hedge from owning the NASDAQ and putting a new position in the futures market to offset the differences. Okay. Now, what is the difference between trading and futures? Well, number one, stocks you can hold on to for, until death, and then it can be even held longer if you set it up right. Futures, on the other hand, you cannot hold on for a lifetime. You cannot hold on because whether it's an indice or a commodity like gold or platinum is blowing up right now in a good way, those contracts expire and they have different expiration dates. So I'd say what's the biggest difference in stocks and futures? Stocks are more forgiving. Futures is current. And that sounds really weird, but it's within, like, with the M&Q, right? We're pretty much right in the middle of the contract session, coming to the end of the month. In August, I want to say it's August or maybe September, that contract's going to expire, and no trading will be done on the September contract. Well, let me show you what I'm talking about. How do I get out of this with that button right deal? So whenever you go up to a instrument selection, you see that there's 925. 925. Well, what is 9? 9 is September. So all these indices show expiration dates of September. You get a quarter shift with indices. In commodities like gold and oil, you get a August contract end every 2 months, right? Okay, I'm gonna. Wow, that Model 22 is playing out, babe. So wanting to go in from the midnight open, that to 8:30 open, that is a bangalicious banger. The only problem is we didn't take out the 8 a.m. low, so it's less stable to enter into a trade that you want it to pan out to. Let's say this 8 a.m.'s first presented, right? You're more. We did get a good solid close above the previous trading range, which is good, but it's less likely to go up here in my brain because it didn't take out this low. Who knew? Who knew? We're coming up into a 5-minute value gap. Wouldn't call it testing it. We are. Oh, I'm not on camera, y'all. Why didn't you tell me? Hello? I come on camera and you go away. So, yeah, man. What's the difference between trading futures and stocks? That contract date. That's what I'm going to put out there as the main difference. And is one more real or risky than the other? Yeah, so the stocks are way more forgiving because number one, you can hold on, and if you are a newbie, then you bought in, it drops down, but you can hold on to that loss and wait it out. Okay, and that's why stocks are a little bit more forgiving. However, it usually doesn't pan out that way. You know, you don't want to hold up onto a loser. You want to define your risk, and put a limit on there. If it goes against you so much, you got to get out the door. I need to get my book from up there that I used. Let me get it to explain, and I haven't read it. I haven't read it in a while. I need to crack the seal again. See what new things I have brought to the table since the last time I read it. Oh God. Ugh. I have so many. I wonder if you can see all this. No, you can't. You see my ass. Oh no, this is not the right book, but oh my God, what a good book. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Sean Covey, man. He was a great motivational speaker. Great motivational speaker. Oof. The paradigm shift. I love it. Okay, no, this isn't what I want. Yes. Ugh. Okay, how to make money in stocks. Right? So, with this one, he breaks down, who is it again? O'Neill, William O'Neill. So this is the IBD guy. He has a really good definition of, oh my God, how embarrassing. Fruit snacks as a bookmark. Cute. He has a really good idea of how to, I guess, maintain your trading journey with how you apply and put out risk, right? So what I was saying was, with stocks, it's more forgiving than it is with futures, because stocks you can hold on for infinity until death, right? So with stocks, though, you still have to have predefined risk. You can't hold on and rely on, oh, well, it'll go up in 20 years. No, babe, you want to risk X amount. If it hits that stop, you get out. Okay, still, because stocks aren't as don't expand like a future product does. Okay, Futures is way more riskier, I would say, because of the fact that, number one, it has the contract that ends, okay, and then they roll over. So you can't hold on if you have a huge loss or something like that. And so they're both real. They're both real. So when you think about what I was just saying, the, say, commodity, so gold, you hold onto your contract to expiration and it expires. I don't really know what would happen. You don't see much information on this out there. However, what I have learned and read, you hold on to what you got on, then they're going to send you the real underlying asset. So gold, I don't know how that happens, because if you're in a micro contract, which is a tenth, and you hold on to expiration, or past expiration, I guess, to expiration, did they actually send you some gold? Is that advantageous to sit there and wait? Those are questions I do not know, and you'd have to do your own research. But futures is just as real as stocks, okay? Because the underlying assets are there. It's just a hedge from the underlying asset. It's a different instrument, completely different number, or not numbers, labels. I don't know, like MNQ or NQ versus the NASDAQ, whatever. It's yeah, words are hard this morning. The English language, we love it. All right. I would say because of the leverage that you get from futures, it's more definitely more riskier, because if it goes against you and you don't predefine your risk, it's gonna be rough. Okay, I'm gonna go to why do futures trade almost 24/7? Girl, it's about to be open. I just realized that. I'll get back to it. I want to see the open. What are we doing? Nothing. Not a damn thing. We're at 20 seconds. What's gonna happen, but Captain? How are we doing this morning? Go ahead and give a like. Leave a comment for the questions. What do you want to know Wednesday? I love answering some questions, y'all. All right, 8 seconds. Let's see. Oh, trade up and then a boom. Look at that wick. Immediate rebalance on 15. This inside E candle back to test New York midnight open. So that 5-minute got super rebalanced. I want to see super rebalanced, y'all. Not just balanced, rebalanced. Super rebalanced. Yeah. Alright. So what I was talking about earlier, that 8 a.m. not getting its low run, and that we're in high resistance conditions and seek and destroy. So whoa, Jesus, where 7 a.m.'s low and high were rated, first the high at 8 a.m., then the low right at the end of 8 a.m., and then 9 a.m. pops its ugly head out, takes another higher high, and then immediately drops from that. That's crazy. It's not something that doesn't happen every day. This right here is constant. Okay, and that seek and destroy pattern, you just got to know how to figure the F out that she's wanting to not continue up. Like that's a, come on, shift. Come on, shift my line here for me. Whatever. Those body closes low. Okay. She is knifing. She's knife falling. So let's go back to that midnight. This is that midnight range, and we're looking for the extension for midnight. What has been happening the most recently is it wants to go to 1,000%. Right there. So 150. What's the price? 180. You know, they say the best buys happen below 8:30 and midnight. So you can flip that. The best sells happen above 8:30 and midnight. So let's dig into this first percentage real quick, and then we're going to get back to our questions. This is a 931 candle. You do not represent that one. You want to go from this low to this high and extend it out real quick. Double click. Let's load that template for first presented. Ooh, first presented. Fair value gap. You gotta label it 723. First presented fair value gap. Okay. Again, I need to get out of the 1 minute real quick, like. So this is a repeat of what happened yesterday, in the sense of open, trade slightly up, and fall. Drop like a little knifey. You know, whenever something like that happens, everybody wants to chase the same as yesterday. But in reality, we only returned into a buy-side balance and then closed well above that. So I'd be looking almost as if that opening was a manipulation, you know? What's stepsister doing? Well, we're kind of I was going to say we're kind of averaged. Is that a little inefficiency? This, oh, we got to get a data box. This high, 215.25, this low, 215.75. See, there's a little baby inefficiency right there. We don't, oh, wait. We've got a volume imbalance. Let's go right here. It's right there. Put a P on them. So this is giving longs. Oh, am I losing service? Yep. See how to swing low right here. Broken. Did it leave an inefficiency? Check. Where are we wanting to reach for? Most likely up here to offset the open price. I don't label open for New York, but what I do is put a fib on the high to the low. But we're only not even 10 minutes into the market, so I'm not going to sit there and constantly update. I wait for more to print over here and see if it wants to stay in what my eyes are telling me is the midpoint. And then once it starts to displace from that point in either direction, then I'll start to worry about picking that up and putting it, right? But right now, I'm waiting on the inefficiencies to kind of blend their hand to Cody. We returned to that 1 minute right here, and this was from what time? That fake out right here, the start of a little reversal, even though it finally came for the low after taking the high. It's interesting. Okay, are we getting a rebalance to go higher and return into this inefficiency down here? We gonna put a question mark. Just one, Cody. Is it gonna give us a good trade right here? I don't know. I do want to quickly look and see, are we in any optimal trade position? Well, we kind of wicked up in there and closed one bullish candle inside of that. It's interesting. So if it can dip into that, ooh, she said I can, baby, hold my beer. We rebalanced here and boop, had a quick jolt down to that downside. Woo. Okay, we're going to be nutting the bodies. What are we doing here? Are we displacing or are we manipulating? Are we leaving behind any kind of inefficiency, because remember, we're on the first 30 seconds and we did both. I would not want to be participating until after this close for sure. So this is that point where price tends to leave, right? That last 15 seconds, that's that real position. It starts to reveal itself, especially whenever you're getting close to a 5-minute or a 15-minute close, which we're getting both right now. What is this? Close of 209.25, and this open is 209.25. We don't know yet. I'll be right back. I got to potty and make some more coffee. What y'all seeing on the computer over there? What is happening? Oh, nothing. Sitting and chilling. Okay, so it did come back down here. Got 30 seconds-ish until the 15 to 5. All of these bad boys want to close right here. Quick check. ES making a lower low. NQ not yet. Okay. All right, and the first presented strikes again, I think. Yep. All from just looking at MES, and it was already dropping. Beautiful. All right, so we tapped into that old low, which I don't know if yep. Is that Asia old low? Or, yep, Asia's old low from last Monday. There it is. My coffee is finally brewing. Go ahead and give the stream a like, a comment, give a subscribe. Let me know how I'm doing here. Let's see. We have news coming up, I do believe. We're going to go here and look at it. I do want to say inventories is coming up. Oh, consumer confidence in euro and existing home sales. Probably not much going to happen from that, to be honest. Closing price of 23,167, opening at 66.75. She's bearish, y'all. I do not like this flat top on the 5-minute. Definitely not going short. That, in my mind, is we're chasing if we do. Especially because the big push has happened, y'all. I want to say we have this displacement on the downside. It could form into a breakaway gap and continuation, but again, yesterday we had that at open. In my mind, I always like to think, no, they like to confuse traders and put a kink in it to make it not as sustainable as that. And when you see a flat top like this, is it like perfect flat top? I don't know. High of 198 and open of 198. I'd say that is as perfect as you can get a flat top. With 1.5 minutes-ish left on the clock. I do not know. Like I said, I wouldn't be chasing shorts right now until I see that flat top. Yeah, right there. Right here. And then it'll be a little bit of a different storyteller once it does that. So it did it. No longer flat top, right? Well, I'm now, and I am looking on that 5-minute chart right here to find that flat top is no longer. And now we have an inside candle. It looks like a shift on the one. Excuse me for being loud with that cough right there. Yeah. So what we'll do is find this technically high, but the open and the high are the open and the high are the same. So we're getting that shift potentially. All I did was return into this potential bearish order block though. This is that moment you wait for more information. Let me tell you, these candles can tell you a story, a fib, and will tell you whatever you want it to. Okay, that could be institutional order flow entry drill right here, back into the first percent of fair value gap of the session, and into new highs of session. Not thinking of day, of session. Yeah. It didn't go down enough for me. Which is a clue into bullish territory, right? That's more like it. Oh, my webcam is not on. And I need to go get my puffer. It is done. Oh, what did I do? There it is. Hello. How are we doing this morning? Okay. So there's this inefficiency that was left from this swing low. you're a Model 22 trader, this could be your moment to shine. This close is 72.50, open of 72.50, open 191, close 190. So there is a volume imbalance. You want to attach it to the open and this high. Double click and put a P to the end time. Oop, let's put it on the start time, I guess. There you go. Yeah, I like that. So, wouldn't go long right this second. I want it to touch into this box again. But we're halfway on a 15-minute candle and technically on a 5-minute candle, but the 15-minute is actually halfway presented. I didn't even realize that we are in a macro, y'all. We're inside of a macro. So, I'll be right back. Gonna get some coffee. Don't worry, it's brewed. It was just sitting over there waiting for me. Did I just spill that fucking coffee? Damn it. Alright, if you're in the room, I have posted a YouTube series on how not to set up your new trading laptop. Ooh, there we go, there we go. Looking at that 1 minute. Oof, I like it. I like it a lot. We got a 5-minute closing here in a second though. One of the things that I don't like to do is enter in on a 5-minute open or close. That first minute I'm like, I can wait. So technically I have a minute and 17 seconds until I could potentially enter into the marketplace. Oh, I just realized that was way down there. Let me see what she's doing. Let's go right here. Dang it. Wow. Okay. Alright. I'm getting a TX this morning. Okay, so we had the 5-minute close a minute ago. So we see a little inefficiency there. I guess I can lay flat. Just teeny tiny. I don't want to do too much here. 5-minute. That's like, okay. That was not model 22. I'm gonna shut up. So we got to closure inside of this box, but it's pretty low. 189. As high as 181. What? Is it that big of a gap? Low 189 to the high of this candle 187.75. So there's even another inefficiency developed right there. It's gonna want to return to the light. You know what I'm saying? Okay. It should hit it anyway. It didn't, not yet, but it should want to return into that. And again, if your narrative is telling you it should return into X, and it doesn't, then that changes your script. Gotta constantly maintain what is the market doing right now, and how is it performing within that. Because at the moment it's looking super herber. It already did the little wiki wick up. So yeah. It's a very heavy market today. Okay, cute. All right, it is about to be 9. There it is, 9 a.m. So, what did 9 a.m. do? Or the open of 10 a.m. Oh my gosh, I need to change the time on my computer so that I don't get so confused. Okay, so we're in a consequential area. What does that mean? It means on the daily, a higher time frame, we are trading inside now. We're at the upper quadrant, but we're trading inside of a buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. So there's no sell side delivery other than yesterday's wick, I guess. And it did not touch the low end of that inefficiency. So in my mind of minds, that's bullish, right? What is this? So, yeah, we need to remove that. So that was the lower quadrant of yesterday's 9:30 to 10 a.m. range. So I put another set of quads from that mean threshold to the low and quadded out this area. So there was new homes. As expected, I guess. I guess we got that question answered. All right, well, I guess. Yeah, I was gonna say this flat top is not wanting to stick around, babe. It's not gonna stay untouched. So that first half, trading in the wrong direction so far, is checking a box. Now, the other half starting on the downside. Okay. New low of day may be coming in. It's wild that they're leaving this untapped so far. Is it going to stay intact before a lower low? You've got your inside candle being printed, and we have not made a lower low or taken that open price. So hold on what you got on. Traded down a little bit, and now, whoa, within the 10 seconds. Now, here's the moment of truth, y'all. Do we come to this closing price? I'm going to just leave it right there. Do we come all the way to the top end of this box? I don't want it to. In my mind of minds, I don't want to see that. All I wanted to see was this high get run through. Now I want to see this low. Since seeing this, I want to see this low just run through, right? So we're at the lower end of that. We didn't get as much displacement as yesterday with the first presented, and I think that's blended with the fact that we have displaced on the daily and returned into this buy-side imbalance. Oh, she playing. She is playing to dirt. There it is. Sorry, I was looking down at my phone. Double tapping that like screen, that live. Okay, it is nearly 10:10, y'all. So we kind of have an idea of what to expect with the 10-10 swing high that takes out a low and then rebounds from that point. Okay. Closing above the old PD array of an old high. Now we're retesting. The high of that box. There it is. Okay, so what I have not been paying attention to is the fact that we are past, and 10 minutes past, not just past, we're 10 minutes past that opening range. What do I say all the time about opening range? Now, this rebalanced, you don't like to see a higher high after an intermediate term high. You don't want to see a higher high to the right of an intermediate term high. What does that mean? What does that mean? Means that structure has been broken. And if you are in shorts, it may be advantageous to take some profits. Maybe. You never know. Right, that's part of our 10 habits that we don't want to hold on to ego. And we have to accept the uncertainty. You cannot ever be 100% sure, and you don't want to be 100% sure of any position that you take. I mean, yeah, you would want that, but when you think of long-term play, I guess, you don't want that. Okay. She really be playing today. Yeah. We're at 10-10. Swing high. Immediately broken. It wants to, yeah. It's going to want to dive into that. Previous day low. Buy side imbalance. I would just not feel 100% though. Just saying. We closed a body on the 1 minute inside of, or below, I guess, the upper quadrant, but above the previous swing low. So, much to be revealed on that front. All right, so we're at 9:15. We got a 15-minute, 5-minute open. All these bad boys are opening. Let's see what we do. That looks pretty on the 15-second. All right, so I've been cluing up on the seek and destroy, right? Whenever you have that climate probabilities drop off significantly, right? So especially whenever you're in an area where there's an old PD array and a premium PD array right here. Looking at the daily, I see that there's a volume imbalance wanting to form, but I don't think at this moment that it's going to want to maintain that. I've got a BISI formed right here. Let's bring these candles to the front, bring them to the front. All right, we're in that first half. What do you want to know Wednesday has turned into tape reading. That's funny. All right. So with seek and destroy, you've got to be very cautious because it's very overlapping price action, right? So if there's a high formed and then a low immediately after that that takes out a previous low after taking out a previous high as well, that's just too much going on for you, right? What do you do in those situations? In my mind of minds, I don't think about engagement. Like right now, it's a retracement on what has been a downtrend, right? Is that going to sustain? In a seek and destroy climate, which really today, it's a Wednesday. It's a wacky Wednesday. And that's why I really want to answer some questions. But not want to really engage because the probabilities of Wednesday being successful on Wednesday, it just drops off significantly. So when you're clued up on this intermediate term high that rebalanced this imbalance, you don't want to see a high higher to the right. You'd want it to be down here somewhere. And then that means that we have a continuation to the downside. You've got displacement to the downside, but this was dirty. Then it came all the way back up to the previous swing high, dropped to about mean thresh, trade down. Not wanting to leave that top flat. Don't judge me. I don't have my Rhythmic connected, but there's only 3 accounts on that, so you can do the math. So the 15-minute has taken out a previous high. Did we create an inefficiency on that? So we took an intermediate term high here, took out a short-term low here with an inefficiency, redirected out of that on the 1 minute, right? Redirected out of that. Potential change in character here, model 22, with an inefficiency left behind. From here to here, let me readjust, because I just want to extend that out real quick. Leaving the lower quadrant unscathed. So when we're looking for engagement, always remember, do not enter in, this is what I like to remember, do not enter in on the last minute or first minute of the 5-minute close or open. That candle, that's my siren of, okay, it just closed. Where did it close? The things I like to watch here. Yep. Sir. Yep, that intermediate term high cluing us in. We're high, in those conditions of seek and destroy already. We took the intermediate term high here, displaced, created an inefficiency on the downside, thinking it's going to keep going. No, we didn't close below that low. So far we hadn't closed strong on the upside. However, bam, returned back into that old low from Asia. Could be a scalpy if it wants to come back down here, revisit this low. I'd rather it not, but $15 seconds. This low is 78 3/4. His high is 79 1/4. So it didn't displace to the downside, and I can see these question marks getting hit. $77 1/4 open, 77 1/4. What I'd like to see is this next candle drop down, touch into this box, and then displace up to the why, Ninja? Is it going to take out those two lows right here and then displacing? I don't know. You've got to be cautious on what I'm calling the seek and destroy profile. This is an hourly candle. I haven't checked in on him. Close of 65.75, open 65.50. Remember, you always want to breathe in deep from that stomach, man. So you just sit and wait. It's boring. But $20 seconds. This is very beefy. So ultimately, if it does go down there, I'm not trying to enter in just because it hit there. More times often than not, if you engage in that type of uncertainty, you really don't know what's going to happen, right? So because it's there doesn't mean that it's going to stop and reverse. It has to show that willingness. Like, yeah, you could 100% just long right there, but I am waiting 20 more seconds to see where is it going to close. Was that displacement just to fake out? I don't know, man. You gotta wait. So note that it's wanting to displace, but in an efficient manner. So what does that mean? If it's efficient, it's not leaving any kind of open price. There's nothing up for discussion right here. It's wanting to overlap. So to me, that means that there are some well, they did leave a little bitty baby inefficiency down there, or up there. But and it tapped back into this Bissy. Blows. All right, it is 9:34 my time. What does that mean? That means that we have less than an hour until launch. So you've got to be real picky. Yeah. Nope. This ain't it. What do I mean by that? Overlapping price action. So we're at the second half now of the 15-minute close, or candle, not close. It had taken the previous candle's high and low. We're just staying right in that range. Still watching that 1 minute displacement potential change of character, but because of seek and destroy, what I'm calling seek and destroy day, that intermediate term low has a lower low to the right. Another freaking kink in the system, so it has to prove otherwise. And right now, I'm seeing that, but because it's potential seek and destroy, watch that bad boy ramp back up inside of this displacement leg. So what are these question marks? Well, glad you asked. It's a mean threshold. So I'm looking at it wanting to at least try to return into that, and that's kind of my guiding star, if you will, of where's the market today. If it leaves that area and doesn't even want to retouch it and reclaim, then it is heavy day. But the last 2 days, we haven't really moved there. It's been high resistance to get back, and that's, I mean, pretty typical, especially whenever you have such a, like yesterday. Today it's just been this is a barcodey, but yesterday we had a real good move from that first presented, over 190 points displaced yesterday. Today I haven't looked actually there. I want to do some math M-A-T-H of that hold. So let's say we're watching it. This would have clued me in on it wanting to go up. It closed above the first presented, and yeah, and it was a down. Yeah, oof. I don't know if I'd be looking for shorts, but let's just say, yep, 74.5 points from that first presented. If you were to gamble, this was a hot mess gravy train. I don't like the closures above, but it failed to take a higher high. That's an intermediate term high with a lower low to the right. That's good. So not much going on. It's 9:40, 10:40 Eastern or Central. Nope, I was right. Eastern Standard Time. So that climate of seek and destroy. Didn't quite take out these lows. It engineered it. Oh, not down there, babe. Not down there, babe. That is so ugly. I want you to line up, babe. There we go. Can't play around too much, can you? Oh well. That was a quick rebalance. Yeah. Let's see if this can close up and above it and rebalance down and try to leave a little bit of that open. It could be good. We're about halfway. Now, officially halfway. Okay. Can go ahead and remove that. It rebalanced. That 1 minute. Now this could be institutional order flow in 3. This high comes in at 93 and a quarter open, or high 93 and a quarter. It's not going to leave that. Now whether it leaves it for right now, puts a pin in it, but there's no fair value gap. No. Last minute of the 5, it should be bullshit. Kind of silver bullet-y moment. Cool. Yeah. So rebalancing that 5 minute inefficiency right there and mean threshold, looking pretty strong. don't want to see that intermediate term high get taken. So there you go. There you go. Should come up another 10. Well, I don't know what that is. I need to zoom in. About 210. Yeah, 10 points away. Don't like seeing that flat bottom. First half, wrong direction. Second half, trying to fill it in. Okay, now let's see what she do. Does she leave it? Nope. We took an intermediate term high that's now lower over here. What's that mean? And you have these little yeah. It's being efficient, which to me is a high resistance. When it's efficient, you get high resistance. Isn't that bullshit? So maybe you can get a rebalance here till the candle's open and then play it off, but that's only 10 points that you could almost bank and guaranteed, and that's not much. So it's looking strong. What's the time? 10 seconds until this can turn around. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. What's it gonna do? There's that touch. No, I didn't even touch it. Didn't even touch it. So that's pretty strong for me. Ten seconds. Ooh. I'm throwing shit. Oh. Okay, so we are 17 seconds away from an hourly close / open. So this is when the bullshittery begins. We've got the opening range here. We're looking at it coming back to that center point. What it does whenever it hits that. We will have more information. What I'd like to see is it quickly hit that point and then reject from it. And, oh, I need to extend out the first presented. Remember, we gonna do a couple days, y'all. We're gonna put a 29 because that's a little bit of the month here, a week away. Is that right? Am I saying that right? Is there literally, after this week, only Oh, there's 31 days of this month. I'm dumb. Okay, we're back into first presented, midnight open, mean threshold, strikes again. I like that direct impact into, oh my God, I almost X'd out of my freaking chart. Oh, I would cry. I would cry. Okay. Yeah, just go ahead and apply that. Ooh, I got a potty. I'll be back. Let's see what she's doing. Can we get in a trade? Ooh, look at that. Okay, so rejecting from mean threshold. Rejecting from mean threshold. Potentially. We did close above, but that is garbage. That right there is the characteristics of seek and destroy, where we take out an intermediate term high, play it safe here, engineering liquidity, showing that, oh, we're going up. In reality, we just rebalanced the opening range enough for the algo to say, yep, we're good to go. Let's go ahead and get some of this right here and revisit this buy side imbalance. We can't just tiptoe and leave this low intact. I don't think. Maybe I'm crazy. But we returned into first presented and closed below. Look at how the body's just, yeah. So, what is this showing up as? We took out the highs from 10 a.m. and now we can take out the lows. Or revisit the mean threshold, of course. But at this moment, I think shorts are going to get paid. We did create an inefficiency on the 5. Look at there. shorties. You doing it. Do it, lady. Okay, first half is trading down. Could see this inefficiency get worked into one more time. But it's got to give up to ghosts at some point. She's got to give up the ghost. I mean, that's a good return to the first presented. Right there, buddy. Wow, good old 40 points, nearly. There's that inefficiency getting returned to. What happens when it hits it? First 15 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and put this one on all charts. Alright, last minute of the 5-minute candle, and so far it has rebalanced the buy side inefficiency and taken the previous candle's low, closed up high inside of the displacement leg here, which can be looked at as a change of character from the high resistance. I wouldn't quite call that high resistance, but it's not like a straight direct line path, right? So it's not low. I wouldn't call that low resistance either. So this can get removed. It happened. Keeping these, yeah, no. Trying to keep these charts clear. Yeah. This might give us a touch or miss of the first presented here in a second. Looking institutional there. Coming out of a little itty bitty efficiency right there. So what have we done on the hourly? We've taken the previous high, returned into this sibby. I'm seeing them lows get, which is, don't y'all? What are we looking at? I'll maybe retouch into that to, ooh. Okay. Thinking about a sale, man. let's just read it, because it has been a high resistance liquidity top day. And we rebalanced the 5 minute. Spent some time there, made a lower low. And failed to make a higher high. Yeah, I can see. Oh, yeah. For sure. Okay, the first minute of, or the first 30 seconds of This 1 minute, I'm observing, taking out the previous candle's high, and look at the bodies on the 5 minute inefficiency on the 1 minute though. The 5 minute inefficiency looked at the 1 minute, you see that it's at consequent encroachment. And the bodies are respecting the high, which is technically the low of this candle. So this can become bearish. That's what I'm wanting to look at that as. With this volume imbalance, I don't want it to act as if it's going to take that high, and maybe take it, but I don't want it to print above that previous high. Yeah. So is it going to do, nope, no volume imbalance. There you go. Now we have relative equal highs. I want to see these highs run and then it to displace. Oh shit, we got 12 minutes. Yeah, I want it to look stronger than that. There you go. Okay. Now, it's just returning back into this. Okay. Nope. So the 5 minute close and had dipped down into its inefficiency and then closed above previous open. With no, like this has been a real efficient market. So not a fan, but with no real displacement to the upside yet. Looks like we might be getting that. We just took out 15 seconds swing highs. So that 5 minute buy side imbalance there may be the turnaround Did we hit, where is mean threshold? We gotta find, yeah. So we went to it, through it, closed above it, created a high, and then did that. Living on the 1 minute, y'all. Living on the 1 minute. Days like this, I'm definitely relying on the higher time frame as far as inefficiencies go. Because this thing over here, these two, the 1 minute and then the sub 1 minute, they are ping-pong in. So you get a little bit more of a direction on the 15 minute. So ooh, I can't wait to go back and watch this live. Got about 8 minutes, well, 7 minutes and 10 seconds until lunch. She is not done with consequent encroachment, apparently. Okay, so is this going to be what I was saying, where we just barely tap into the first presented fair value gap and just not even touch it, and then displace to the downside and go for those lows? Similar to here, you may be holding on thinking, oh shit, it's going to go for these lows, but instead it failed to make a lower low and ramped up. What's the structure here? Low, high, higher high, high, low, higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, lower high, higher low, higher high. Market structure is so, but when you follow the path, it kind of guides you to what's going on, right? In a perfect world, you wouldn't want to see it return after touching mean threshold. You wouldn't want it to come back, right? Like, that's kind of trash. But Sorry, got a text. Had to respond. I'm selling a a zero-turn lawnmower. Okay. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Nothing's happening. We're at the 2-minute mark almost. It's a little bit more than that. And then I'm off, man. Let's see. Okay. Well, not trade today. And the hypothetical one right here, I was watching this made a higher high right here and was displacing. I was thinking about entering in right there, and I would not be happy camper right now. At all. So there you go. Who knew? Okay. Well, it's nearly that time, so I am going to bounce. I do believe. I wanted to go over my questions. Never got a response though, so we let AI discover it. So this morning I was talking about what exactly is M&Q, what's the difference between trading futures and stocks, is it real or which one's more risky? If you've traded futures, you know the answer. So why do futures trade 100 or 24/7 nearly? It's because of that underlying asset. It is an underlying asset, so it has more of a global reach, and so it has to accommodate to that. Let's see. Speaks to overwhelm and expectations. I don't know what that means. AI, man. Next question. I see people use terms like liquidity sweep or an order block. Do I need to learn ICT strategies right away? If you're thinking right away, you're not ready. I mean, yeah, the sooner you pick up some new information, the better, right? But you don't have to know what a liquidity sweep. I don't use liquidity. I mean, I kind of use it because that happens every fucking day. But you don't need to know or label or call out or any of that what a liquidity sweep is or an order block. I mean, you pick one and you're going to be fine, right? That's literally what's explained in 2024, I do believe, in his works. Acknowledges the pressure of trendy charting. Yeah, don't follow the trend, man. Not in that sense. When you follow people that are following, you're most likely going to get run over. What platform should I use to actually place trades? NinjaTrader, TraderBait. It put TraderBait and Rhythmic because it's AI and it was watching me set up my new laptop. Oh, I just noticed I don't have a camera on. Or am adjusted. So that's what TraderBait and Rhythmic. I use NinjaTrader to place my trades. Doesn't mean that you have to. There are multiple brokers. NinjaTrader is just the one that prop firms are associated with, and that's how I got into this ball game we call FuturesTrading. But I also use Webull. I've never placed a futures trade there, but with my stocks, I do. But you really pick out what you've got to play with a couple different ones. Like the first futures broker that I went with was actually I'd have to look at my files. I can't think of it off. TradeStation, and I didn't like the user-friendly, the UI, user interface, and not saying that NinjaTrader is any better. It's just what I've settled with, and I love it. It's perfectly fine for me, so I continue to use it. And we're closing the charts, man. I cannot. It is 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. Get it out of here. And I'm almost done with my preguntas. So let's see. It's all gibberish to me. So if that is gibberish to you, I would just say look at their websites. They spend a lot of money on advertising themselves, number one, and two, that landing page for when you go to their whatever broker website you go to, or trading platform like TradingView, they spend a lot of money to explain information. So do your own research, bud. How much money do I really need to get started without blowing up? So there's multiple avenues, I guess, for this one. Like I said, I started with props, and then I dabbled into getting into live funds, and so you just have to play around and find what works for you and which one makes sense. It depends on the broker. There's discount brokers, right? And you can get a lot of leverage for a little price, but with that comes even more risk. So this one is a hard one, because if you're trading a mini or a micro, right, it depends on the instrument you're trading. But if you are to be trading, let's say micro MNQ, you would, let's just look at Ninja's website, and this is what I do, and it changes, right? So if there's more volatility coming into the marketplace, it's going to show up here. NinjaTrader margin requirements. Oh, look at that, caps are on, of course. Let's just go here. Low margin, right there. Is this loading? Come on, I hit the button. Where do we go? I feel like they changed their website here. Is this it? Yeah. Okay. So let's go to MNQ. Oh, that's coffee then. Okay. Oh no. See, okay, so I'm doing that because they lowered their margin. I didn't know that. This used to be higher. So in my mind, that means that we're in Summer Trading 101, and when they drop the margins like that, they're trying to entice people to put more, or put a little bit in and roll them dice to get in. Like a lower admittance fee is attractive, right? And so whenever you see something like that, babe, $100 is nothing for one micro contract. That's cheap. And if you go to another, back to my preguntas, how much money does it actually cost? So if you're going with the discount broker, right now it's $100 for one micro contract. So you could literally only have $100. I mean, you're going to be puckered up and nervous, but technically that's what it is for the micro. And so safely, do I really need? Well, it depends on your strategy, and you'd have to strategize. So let's say you put $1,000 in. Well, then that's $100 So you could technically put in 10 micro contracts at $1,000 in your account. You would want to make sure that whenever you are risking, you're not risking more than 2%, and that is nothing. So, I mean, to be realistically, the real amount of money that you need is more than $1,000, but you can squeeze by, and you could be the one that takes that small, low entry barrier. There we go. I'm back, I think. So, sorry, I had a text and my Wi-Fi goes down. So, what does a beginner setup look like? Not just indicators, but mindset, schedule, expectations. So, honestly, if you have a question like that, you're on the right path. Number one, that's asking the right thing. This goes down to my live on Monday, my Mindset Mondays, where you have the 10 habits, which I think I have a little. Let's see. Yes. So my 10 habits for trading with clarity and confidence, that I pulled from ICT, the book that I read, Trading in the Zone, Mark Douglas, I think. Oh my gosh. What's home dude's name? Mark Douglas. Why was that not wanting to pop up into my brain? Anyway, Mark Douglas and a football coach, Presley Swaggerty from Residual Earners and podcast, the highest earning social engagement podcast right there. Culmination of all of those things, and then the psychology from Rand Howell. Like, I put all the things that I come in together, and it kind of guides me into what I want to look for, what mindset I have whenever I sit in this chair. And so, like, number one, start with gratitude, not screens. Be thankful that you're able to come into this position and do it on your terms. To accept uncertainty as the game. That's a big one. You can put in the risk, but you can have your stop loss run through in a blink of an eye. Detach from the need to be right. You don't have to be right to be profitable. You can take profit early, and that sucker runs against you immediately. But guess what? You pocketed that $20. Guess what? That fills a tank in my little Corolla. Habit 4. Predefine risk and accept it fully. You can accept it fully and easily by just putting in a bracket order. NinjaTrader has this, I already closed it, an ATM strategy, advanced trade management strategy. If you don't use that, even though it puts in a stagnant order, you have to think and be aware of, it can go against me this much, and this is what I'm risking. I want to enter in with the least amount of drawdown. You have to predefine that risk and accept it. Trump can tweet, and that goes against you immediately. It happens every single, well, not maybe every single day. That's not the climate, but it happens very often. Okay, habit 5, build a repeatable routine. So that goes back to the question. You have to be consistent when you approach what you're doing in front of your trading charts. You can't just come to NinjaTrader, open it up, and choose which chart you want to differently every day. I like to, number one, before I go into that chart, come in with that gratitude. I have a breathing routine where I breathe diaphragmatically, not from my chest, even though that's where my lungs are housed. I want to get the deepest root breath, come to the charts, start from the higher time frame and work my way down. Today I kind of got a little throat. I went from my daily, monthly, weekly, then a 1 minute. But My starting position brought me to the daily. Accepted everything that I have no what's the word I'm looking for? I don't make the market move. I am not the market maker, right? I have to follow suit with what he's doing. So in order to do that, I have to have a repeatable system. I look at the daily, look for the inefficiencies, find the previous highs, lows, mark out those inefficiencies, then step down every day. It doesn't matter. Every day. Okay, I'm moving on. Habit 6, train calm under pressure. So if you're coming in, and this is the flip side of build a repeatable routine. If your routine has stress involved in it, you're doing something wrong. You have to find what calms you when you get in front of these charts, because high stress breeds more high stress. When you can turn that off and realize there's more to this. Like right now, I need to be getting up and going, but I want to finish this. You have to train to be calm when you come in here, because it's the same routine every time you come in, right? If you have emotions involved in that, and the flip side of that, if you're just always maintaining a over relaxed and just it's hit or miss, I can long, it's always going up anyway, that can be, so there's a fine line is what I'm trying to say, to where you train that calmness. The calmness I'm talking about is I'm not stressed to enter in. Like, I had my systems in play that put me into the marketplace. I'm going to calm myself. Focus on the process over outcome. You have to know how to build that solid foundation so that the outcome doesn't come tumbling down later. And that's what the trend is for most new traders. They want to build that system up fast, but whenever you don't put a solid foundation, it makes it difficult. 8, journal your emotional triggers. Once you do that, once you start to know what your pitfalls are and your snares, the better it is for you to not repeat the same mistakes. Journaling is not easy, and it's easier to not do it, but we have to find ourselves getting out of that loop, and you're the only person that can do that. And hearing it from other people does not give you what you need. You don't need to hear that from other people, but if you build it in as a habit for yourself, you're on the right path. Visualize your ideal trading self. This one's one of my favorites that I like to do. I am consistently professional. I will visualize myself as a consistently professional trader, so that way I build a solid idea of what I want to achieve for today. I can grade myself. How did I hold myself accountable? Did I turn off the charts at 11:30 Eastern time? I did. Well, maybe a little later, but and I think I did return back to it, but that's okay. And then the last thing on this one is you can tell yourself that you're the market maker. I think I brought that up in the love. I am the market maker. If you look at yourself as a market maker, you are on the right path to becoming successful, because the market maker is crazy, right? That is where reversals happen, the highs, the lows of the day, those kind of things. That's I am the market maker. If you tell yourself that, you begin to open up the door to what you're wanting to be. Okay, last habit, and then I gotta go. Habit 10, reset weekly with intention. This is how many times a week you want, not just once. How often you need to. Mondays, my MindsetMonday is the perfect day because it's the beginning of the week. I don't like to trade on Mondays, so I like to focus in on what can I do to become a better trader in the future? And whenever you think about it with intention, you put the energy and flow of what you want out there. And if you want something to come back twice fold, you have to put the intent out there and reset what that is in your brain constantly, really. And the best way to do that is by journaling and holding what is this right here? Am I holding myself accountable? And you only have to do it once and refer back to it. This week, man, didn't even think about it. I was thinking about selling this brand new zero turn, but I don't need, and getting that cash and flipping it. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so there's that. Let me go back to my questions. So that really boils down into mindset, schedule, and expectations, because you build that for yourself, right? So I think building up into that would be super beneficial for a beginner. If you can go through those 10 habits and build a solid foundation, you have to know what you're studying. You don't have to study ICT, but you have to find an edge that you can exploit. Okay, I'm going to move on. How do people handle losing trades mentally? I feel like I'm supposed to be emotionless, but I'm not. It's hard to not be emotionless when you hold yourself to an opinion and then it goes against you. But at the end of the day, that happens all the time. People are wrong all the time. And whenever you're in school, the first thing you do is learn. You're given information. You take it home. You get time, individual time in class to work through whatever this information is, and then eventually the teacher gives you an assignment, a quiz, something to gauge where you are in that moment. Then the teacher reflects on that. That reflection moment is, in trading, what you need to do to be able to find that next step. It's not profit and loss. It can be a whole list of things. Not just how much money you make, but did I follow my rules today? That's you grading yourself. Okay, then in class you go into the test. Well, the test changes constantly in trading. And so for me, you're gonna have to lose to learn. And so you just get used to it and writing down the problems that you have and hold and changing it, and not being insane by doing the same thing. What's the point of funding companies like Apex? Is it worth it? Just another flashy shortcut. So it's a prop firm where you can have a lower than the $100 entry fee to sim trading, and a really good way to get into futures trading. But is it worth it, or just another flashy shortcut? That's like, yeah, you're right, spicy. It depends on your mindset, because some people could benefit from just going straight into live and not over leveraging, taking it seriously, not trading for the first 3 months, and learning an edge, defining it, then exploiting it. And so, is it worth it? It's really up to you and your personality. It's easier for a beginner, I would say, because it's a lower barrier of entry and you get more leverage. But for me, I have benefited more from prop firms because I've been able to grow and not have as much stress than real cash being taken out of my live account. Now whenever it happens, it's literally just the fees from live data, the $12 it costs for live data every month, because I don't trade my live. I haven't traded my live account since last year in August. Okay, I need to journal every trade like pros do, or is that overkill? I mean, if you're looking at it as overkill, you're probably in some kind of denial. I mean, eventually you're going to have a system worked out where it's, okay, I need to only write this much information down. I don't have to go full out Felicia every time I'm in here doing a journal. Hit the high points, things that you can refer back to later. You don't have to write a whole novel in each entry, right? You can define what you need easily. Okay. All right, that was the last question. So, if you haven't watched Mindset Monday, I would get up in there. There was some really good information. This has been a 4-hour live. It's nearly lunchtime. I got to go. I appreciate all for watching. Remember, like the stream. It's going to go into a What Do You Want to Know Wednesday playlist. Oh, I'm going to keep it up. Not editing them anymore. Mondays I might. But the rest of the week, I'm just chilling, right? Tomorrow, we're going to have Theory Thursday. I'm going to break down a little bit more of ICT concepts. Probably going to go into the first presented fair value gap. That's my jam right there. I love breaking down the first presented fair value gap, and so we are probably going to do a little bit of back testing so that we can apply that theory, and we'll be in pre-market, so we may watch the opening and like the 9:30 open, and see if we can spot out the first presented fair value gap tomorrow. We'll refer to the midnight opening range, midnight open, 8:30 open, and that 9:30 to 10 a.m. range, and see about what mean threshold does. All right. I appreciate y'all guys for watching. Remember to follow me on Cody FuturesTrader. I am also on the TikToky. I'll show you really quick. We got 61 followers, y'all. 61 followers. This account is brand new. I am brand new to exposing myself out here into the big World Wide Web. We've got some really good content. More to come today. All right. I think I'm good. I do want to put this out there that we have the Google form. We will be going live again next Wednesday for What Do You Want to Know Wednesday, and I want to know some real questions and not AI driven. So